Imagine you're standing in the middle of a busy street in a foreign city. Everywhere you turn, people are talking effortlessly in a language you are desperately trying to learn. You spot someone who looks friendly. You know exactly what you want to ask them. You've practiced the vocabulary for asking directions a dozen times in your head. But right as you open your mouth to say, "Excuse me," something happens. Your chest tightens. Your mind goes completely blank, and you can't remember a single word. It feels like a heavy weight just dropped onto your shoulder, or a hand clamped over your mouth. Let's call this the shy monster. This monster thrives on your hesitation. The longer you stand there worrying about your accent or your grammar, the bigger the monster gets, until you feel completely paralyzed. So you look down, put your hands in your pockets, and just walk away without saying a thing. This sudden silence happens to almost everyone who tries to speak a second language. This common hurdle hits beginners and advanced students alike, regardless of how many hours they have spent studying. It is a physiological response to social pressure that often appears long before your memory or vocabulary even have a chance to work. To get past this, we need to leave that noisy street and step back into a quiet, comfortable room at home. Here, we can practice a technique called shadowing. Shadowing takes language learning away from reading textbooks and turns it into a physical workout for the muscles in your mouth. The first step is simple. You listen closely to a short audio clip of a native speaker, paying attention to the rhythm and sound of their voice. Then, immediately after hearing it, you speak it out loud. You match their voice exactly, right away. Because you repeat the phrase instantly, you don't give your brain time to translate the words back into your native language. You are just building the physical habit of making those specific sounds. When you do this practice every single day, your mouth gets used to the shape of the new language. As those physical muscles get stronger, that nervous feeling, that shy monster, loses its power. Shadowing works because it forces you out of passive reading and into active, vocal training. That physical action is exactly what starves the anxiety. Now that your mouth is getting comfortable making the sounds, you need words to actually say. A lot of people try to memorize long lists of vocabulary all at once, which usually leads straight to frustration and exhaustion. A better approach is to keep a small notebook and write down just 5 words a day, no more. 5 words are easy to review while eating your breakfast or taking a daily walk. It never feels like a burden, so you never look for an excuse to skip your daily practice. Sticking to a tiny limit every single day builds a massive vocabulary over a year, far more effectively than trying to cram hundreds of words into a single weekend. Armed with daily shadowing practice and your small notebook of words, it's time to step back onto that busy street. You find another stranger. You take a breath and you actually say the words, "Excuse me, I am looking for a cafe." They give directions to go straight and turn left. But then you mix up the words. You get confused and the sentence comes out wrong. Your brain uses this moment to recalibrate. Every slight pause or tangled sentence provides the specific feedback your mind needs to correct the pattern for your next conversation. So you ask them to repeat the instructions. You try the sentence again, and this time they understand you perfectly. You thank them, and you both smile. Repeatedly facing these real-world interactions helps desensitize your brain to the stress of speaking. With each successful exchange, the anxiety shrinks, and the words begin to flow with less and less effort.